Well, their recess appointments ruled unconstitutional, but that is not stopping President Barack Obama from just renominating 2 members to the nation's labor board. Now, it's been 406 days since they've been in the job. That's 406 days since you've essentially been paying their salaries for a job they can't do, they're not doing, and they shouldn't be doing. One reason the Workforce Fairness Institute just launched this clock to keep tabs on all of it. And group spokesman Fred Dullock says they won't stop until these appointees step down. You know what's amazing to me, Fred, is that they could still be doing what they're doing, whatever it is they're doing, and we're paying for it.
Yeah, it's sort of a zombie labor board right now. The members aren't legally entitled to hold their jobs, but they keep killing jobs along the way. The thing to remember is that if their appointments are thrown out by the Supreme Court, every decision that they've touched in these 400 days and the days that come after will have to be done again at enormous expense. These unions and employers spend a fortune in legal bills to get to this point, and to have to do it twice because these members are just belligerent is just unfair to these employers and unions.
Now, you're keeping track of this and how long in this count is going on, I assume through the whole legal labyrinth of appeals and everything to justify these appointments, but this could go on for how long?
Their appointments, their recess appointments should expire at the end of next year, so it can't go on all that long. But nothing moves quickly in the legal world, as you know.
But in the meantime, we have been paying for them and doing everything, covering everything for them, even though in the end it might be ruled a complete sham.
Absolutely. And, you know, if you read the plain language of the Constitution, this court got it right. These recess appointments weren't valid because the Senate wasn't really in recess, and the vacancies that they were appointed to didn't arise during a recess. It's hard to argue with this D.C. Circuit opinion.
So if the president keeps pushing, well, I'll just keep pushing these same people. What do you do?
Well, you know, there was a lot of hope on our part that maybe Richard Griffin wouldn't be renominated. As you know, he was the top lawyer of arguably the most corrupt union. Some of their local unions operate like episodes of The Sopranos. And he didn't seem to play any real role in cleaning it up. But since he's been nominated the first time, he's been now named in a embezzlement and extortion lawsuit, and they claim that he covered up the embezzlement of union funds. Now, there used to be the standard that you couldn't have the appearance of impropriety. That kind of looks like the appearance of impropriety to me. We hope that the president wasn't going to renominate him, but he did.
Man, all right. Thanks for keeping us posted. Thanks for just keeping the clock running. I think people should know that. Fred, thank you very, very much. All right, to the judge on whether any of this is even illegal or these guys should still be on the job. All rise. The judge is here. What do you think?
Well, they shouldn't be on the job. I mean, the court ruled conclusively. Now, we're not talking about all members of the National Labor Relations Board. We're talking about 2, which is enough to upset a quorum. So whatever was
in other words, they can't make a decision until those 2 positions are permanent.
Right. So whatever was done by the National Labor Relations Board while these 2 were on the board is invalid, even though not all of it has been challenged. Only one set of decisions has been challenged. I would think the Supreme Court will uphold this, and that will cause the NLRB to have to go back and do over, as Fred just said, everything that they've done. Now, this could be cured in the future if these nominations are now confirmed by the Senate, but that wouldn't make lawful the unlawful decisions they've already made. They've really created a mess for the taxpayer, for management, and for labor.
Why does this keep happening? Though under Democratic presidents or Republican presidents, you know, you have an out-of-Senate appointment. I mean, why can't we just, both sides, you don't like these characters, don't vote for them?
Because the president has too much power under our system, Republican presidents and Democratic presidents.
Well, he argues that he was being blocked with these, and so this is his only choice.
No, the Senate has the right to block. And if the Senate doesn't want to confirm his nominees, then there is no NLRB because there's not a quorum. That's the answer. His own Senate, his own party blocked these people. We don't know why, but they didn't vote to confirm them.
But Judge, add that up with the executive actions he's taken and all this other stuff. That's not very constitutional, is
it? Last night, most respectfully, he sounded like a prince or a tin horn dictator who basically said to the Congress, do what I want you to do or I will find a way to get it done. That is not our system. In our system, the president doesn't write the laws. He enforces the laws that the Congress has written, whether he agrees with the laws or not. And he can't enforce laws that don't exist. He can't make them up on his own any more than he can appoint these people to positions where there are not true vacancies. He deserved the slapdown that he got from the Circuit Court of Appeals in the District of Columbia, right underneath the Supreme Court, and he will probably get another from the Supreme Court itself. But he's tried to defy them.
But you've reminded me a lot of presidents sort of, sow their oats and sort of push how far they can go. FDR,
other presidents have done this.
But
it's not the first, and he won't be the last.
Different? Is this president, either the series of moves, the executive actions, the appointments, what have you, adding up to be more than others? Unusual?
Each president does it more than his predecessor because they use the predecessor's behavior to justify what they're doing. So George W. Bush did it more than Bill Clinton, who did it more than George H.W. Bush. And Barack Obama is doing it more than George W. Bush did. And he's doing it in a very, very strident, leftist, progressive, as in Woodrow Wilson, way, not in a way that the Congress has authorized.